Your listing and the days on market can be used as a weapon against you from potential buyers. The first thing to realize is even in this changing market, buyers will compare the amount of days on market your home has been to other options they have in the areas they're considering and which one's been on the market longer. If your home has been on the market longer, psychologically, a buyer is more inclined to write you a lower offer. Even if there's no actual data-driven reason to do so. It is up to your listing agent to be able to have conversations with the buying agent, the buyer's agent, to help negotiate that price up and be able to speak in realistic terms to that buyer's agent about why the price that we're negotiating makes sense. Now, when we look at psychology and how it drives people's behavior, urgency matters more than patience with somebody who's buying and trying to obtain something, because urgency plays into the same idea of limited supply in supply and demand. We never want to add extra time to a decision when the buyer decides to write. That is from the time that they want to see a home to when they're in it, to when we push to be able to get them to write an offer, and your amount of time in response and in negotiations. We never ever want to add extra time, because the longer we keep the urgency factor in play as a seller, the better chances are we will have a buyer that participates on a fair level and nets you the most amount of money. Now, here's a weird stat that the Association of Realtors and Zillow both looked at for 2024. Now, understand, we are coming to the last part of 2025 right this second, and the market has changed. But it shows that homes that were sitting on the market over a month sold for between 5 and 8% less than homes that were on the market for a less amount of time. Driven by urgency is the way the report would look on its face value. What it doesn't take into effect is correct pricing up front. And what we haven't accounted for yet with any reasonable study is that now in 2025, the average days on market, especially in most areas of California, is now hitting over 72 days. And with almost 50% of homes going into escrow and then falling out for lending, disclosure, and other negotiation reasons after they've gone into escrow, that increases the time on market. So it is more important than ever that we price a home correctly from the start, make it available for showings, and that your listing agent is extremely proactive with having conversations with the buyer's agent in order to draw offers in a reasonable time frame, and that you as the seller make yourself available to be able to negotiate those offers as they come in. Because the shorter amount of time from receiving an offer to negotiating it to accepting it to that buyer's deposit going into escrow is going to be not only increase your sales price, your net, but also it shows systematically it's going to increase your chance of being able to stay in escrow and not being one of the 40+% that fall out halfway through the transaction.